Hi, welcome to the show.
In his carrier. This cat is trolling us.
Not 3 minutes ago.
He was picture perfect in his bed, all like, oh, you're so cute. I will pet you. Mommy, pet me. Now he's in his carrier.
Having bitten you twice.
Having bitten me twice and run off. So, okay. So we've developed this new... Hi, everybody. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? The microphone's working.
We do 4 things on the show.
Isn't that wonderful?
What is this?
Saying hello to you before I go to bed. Have a good one, Ozzy. Thank you so much for popping by. I appreciate it. We do 4 things on the show, and the first thing is we give the cat update. Now, apparently that's the kind of people we are. Twinkle has new nicknames. So Spanish for kitten is gatito, which is adorable. And most of the time he is gatito tranquilo. He's very tranquil. He's very relaxed and chilled and happy and cuddly. And then there are times when he is gatito picante, because he's very, very spicy, because he likes to bite and run, and he has the ears and the whole 9 yards. And we are in it. He's gonna jump up on that printer behind Alistair's head. Yeah, just any minute now. He's sitting on top of the paper shredder, getting ready to jump, because he knows he's not allowed.
And he knows he's on camera, and he likes this camera.
Yeah.
What you missed was him batting at Twiglet camera.
Yeah, here, I'll show you. So he was perfectly ranged, just right there, and then he knocked this camera over. So
no pictures, darling.
I guess he's not ready to be on camera entertainment this evening. Okay, fair trade, fair dues to him. He'll come back. Don't worry. I need to get this microphone just a little bit. Maybe that's a little too close. Okay. But the most important thing is that the microphone is working again on your way home from fencing training. That sounds amazing. The microphone.
You can both hear and see us.
Where last time you could see us but not hear us, and then on the PlayStation you can hear us but not see us, and we fixed it, and it was some stupid machine setting thing. I've memorized the path for how to correct it now, so hopefully it won't be happening again. Good evening, welcome back to this is the first time we've streamed since Christmas. I don't know.
It's on Wednesday.
Yeah. Well, no, on a Wednesday. When you could hear us. Last time we were here, we were just, an exciting series of frustrated gestures for about 3 minutes. Do not mime. Do not mime at the camera. You're very cute. How are you?
I'm all right.
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Where is he?
I've had a very productive week so far. There's a couple of things, actually.
Lord, if I know.
He's
just going to jump on something.
He'll just fuck shit up. You know what he's like.
He's going to screw something else.
I've written 5 host spots for Pseudopod and Escapepod.
Nice.
And I have a story on Escapepod next week, which I am not presenting. I am not talking about. I have written.
Yes, he has a published piece of short fiction next week.
So I did a little note for
that. We'll have to update your website.
I know. It was so cool.
I'm going to write myself a note about that.
Hey, you know that DVD that we weren't sure that we wanted, the Hades developmental one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm about to be paid for some words I wrote.
Oh, okay.
Do you want the DVD?
You can buy yourself a DVD.
All right, I might do that.
That's pretty good.
So that one, great.
What's the name of the story?
It's called Oak Hill Lane. And it was the second or third thing I wrote based off the British Science Fiction Association's caption competition, where every week, mostly, they put up an image and they go, write something about this. And most people can't do like a one-line comedy thing. And I decided to be extra. Because that never happened.
Shock. Quelle surprise.
So I do little flash pieces. And like 3 people on Earth read them. But they all like them. And that's great. And you know what? I'm number 4. And Oak Hill Lane's lovely. The prompt for it was this little tin robot pedaling down a beautiful country lane on a sunny day. And my brain went, yeah, do something with that. And the story is 3,500 words long, and the prompt is right at the end.
Yes.
The entire thing was justifying getting to that image.
Big surprise.
So that happened.
That'll be an escape pod next week, you said.
That'll be an escape pod next week, and there's either going to be a blog post or a thing in full lid talking about the various references for it. Hoping there are a couple of locations in there where you'll go, is that? And the answer is always yes. So that happened. The host spots happened. I've read most of a very good book that we're going to be talking about in full lid this week. Kyle is screaming because he doesn't know where we are, having spent the last 5 hours in the room where we both are.
What are you doing, my Bobby?
Oh.
Bobby, I'm supposed to.
Thanks, Ozzy.
Come on.
I'm most of the way through Moth Eater by Lynn Cadega, which is fucking brilliant. Set in the Appalachians, former mining company employee turns activist trying to prove that their old boss, their old boss has been directly responsible for getting people killed in the mines. And then she sees a dead body in the river and pulls it out. And the dead body stands up. The dead body's name is Moth Eater, and she has been locked in the nearest mountain for over a century. And she has questions. This happens in the first 10 pages.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
It
reading
is
it.
so fucking good.
I am reading, we should do this more regularly.
We should.
We
What
need
are
to
we
hold
reading,
ourselves
Franny?
more accountable for our reading. I'm reading Countess by Susan Palumbo, which is, I think it's a novella.
Yes, it is.
I'm not sure. I'm about 2/3 of the way through it, and it is Lesbian, the Count of Monte Cristo in space, and glorious. I'm having an awful lot of fun with it. It's my bedtime reading right now, which has been really good.
And also, apparently earlier this week, Ursula Vernon confirmed that books 2 and 3 of Sword Heart, the series that she started writing, then took a left turn at Albuquerque and wrote The Clockwork Boys, then took another left turn at Albuquerque.
He wrote all those Saints of Steel books.
Yeah. The books 2 and 3 of the Sword Heart trilogy are apparently out next year. It being Ursula, I would imagine these are 2 of the 5 books she will have out next year.
I'm very much looking forward to that. Yeah, I read
That's the other thing I'm reading, actually. Most of the way through Summer in Ursus, which you also just read.
Summer in Crocus.
So, Summer in Crocus.
No, Orcus.
Summer in Orcus, there it is, which is an Ursula Vernon
Portal Fantasy book.
serial, basically, that has been released as, I think she did it as a serial initially, which is what each chapter ends very much with a, the fuck?
Oh, okay. That explains that. But there's one character in particular that I really enjoy from that book, and I would like her to write more in that universe, please. So
Yes.
that would be nice.
So we've been reading some books, we've been watching Arcane Season 2 and sustaining horrifying emotional damage as a result.
Yeah, I know. No problem, KB. Don't worry about it. Unfortunately, I don't believe there are Blue Sky plugins for
Not yet.
Stream Deck and all that stuff yet. So I'm having a difficulty like automating notifications and things like that. By the way, this reminds me that you guys are a reason I got into Peter Watts.
Oh,
nice.
awesome.
Because I'm Polish, I got myself the out-of-print short story collection by him. Fantastic. That The Things is such a good story. Oh, that's one of my like all-time favorites. I read
Broken Blades by May Corlin.
May Corlin. May Corlin. That sounds really. Yeah. What are the people reading? I mean,
Yeah.
the holiday. The end of year holiday period has now concluded, and I don't know. So my family has this gift giving tradition, right? And that gift giving tradition
Gift gifting.
is that when we were kids, we got 4 presents: something you want, something you need, something to wear, and something to read. That was the rhetoric. And when Alistair and I got together, I had gift tags made with those 4 things on them. And then I threw in a couple more because we play things and watch things
And eat.
things. There's frequently food involved in our gift giving. And so giving books is always an important part of the holidays for us. And I gave you that almanac,
Which is amazing.
the 2025 almanac book, which was very, very cool. And then you gave me, there were 2 books. One of them was my ridiculous urban fantasy sexy werewolf nonsense books, which are sexy and stupid and nonsense. And then what was the other one?
The other one was one of the other ones from the lady who wrote Shadow and Bone that I couldn't
No,
remember
you
about.
didn't give me the Lee Bardugo. No, that's still on my wish list. It was something else. And I cannot for the life of me remember what it
We
is.
have it, and it looks awesome. So
I can't remember.
I'm sure it was Billy Bardugo. I could be wrong.
No, it's still on my wish list. So, or if it is, I haven't downloaded to my Kindle yet. How about that? I still got to read my copy of Iron.
That's a hell of a
Iron
thing.
Widow's a hell of a
Hell
book.
of a thing.
It's so
freaking
fun.
good. The sequel's out.
It is?
Okay.
My Kindle's right there, please. Okay, thank you. Kate B says, I just finished Pride and Prejudice, but I'm about to start
Great.
Heavenly Tyrant. Oh, the sequel to Iron Widow.
Yes.
But I didn't know that was out yet.
Yeah.
Give me my Kindle. I need to update things. Okay, go, Kindle, go. All right, there's more books I need. I still got to read my okay, modernized or not? Oh, I think you're talking about Pride and Prejudice. I would imagine. I don't think I've ever actually read it.
I think that was one of the ones I did.
Yeah. It will not surprise you that English literature classics were not big on the American English curriculum.
Will not surprise you that at the time, attempting to convince a bunch of adolescent pseudo-Vikings trapped in a rock in the middle of the Irish Sea that Jane Austen was worth their time was challenging.
Got a hold of, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, Herman. You're going to have to give me a translation if you
The
please.
Complete Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I'm guessing.
Nope.
Then complete, yes.
They have been promoting Heavenly Tyrant on her social media quite I would imagine so.
Yeah. The author is extraordinarily good at social media.
Isn't this the one who recorded a TikTok during Hugo acceptance, if I remember correctly? Yes. In Norwegian, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy in Norwegian.
Amazing.
Bravo. Well done. I'm still maybe competent to order a pizza in Italian at this point, but I wouldn't even try to read a book in it. Maybe, like a children's book. I'd read children's books in Italian. That might be good things to practice, but I hear him.
The child approaches.
He's eating even more window crunchies, so he's circling ever closer. Right. Okay. So we've nattered on a bit.
Thing one.
We used to do things. We used to like have an opening monologue and like a pattern to this.
I was thinking we should maybe start circling back to the opening monologue.
I do like the opening monologues because they make it feel like there's a little more structure to this nattering on that we're doing. Well, here's the cat update and how are you all? I read it in the original Regency English and understood like 2/3 of it. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. So we don't have an opening monologue. I read product labels in like 15 languages. But that's just because it's my day job. Nice. So what are we here to do tonight?
Well, normally we do 3 things on the show, and
See, I knew I just had to set you up and you save us.
technically 4. The first one we've already done, which is the general life update. Now we're shifting into the kind of opening monologue and general discussion, which I would argue, what have you been reading, kind of covers that.
Well, I mean, we call this night cheese for a reason, so this is the cheese, right?
Then, in a little while, what we'll do is move on to our main feature. And our main feature at the moment is we're playing a lovely...
Well done.
Thank you.
We're trying to banish the word content from our vocabularies. Tonight's feature is more Tavern Talk, and we're probably going to have to do a recap when we start it up because it's been a while. Wasn't there a new character who had just arrived?
Yes.
Wasn't it the Himbo Barbarian?
The Australian Himbo Barbarian, yes.
You've made him Australian?
I thought I'd made him Australian. Do you wish him to not...
No. Elstrom lives. Anyway. Oh, Dougie's collecting books
from the chat.
I see.
Good.
Excellent.
Yes.
So we're going to play more Tavern Talk?
Yeah, he did say good day.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
How can you remember such things?
And then we will do some shenanigans and leave.
Valhalla will always be there for
Always.
you. Please don't sacrifice your sleep if you need your sleep. I will just say.
He approaches.
Hello.
Goofy boy.
Can we have a moment for the people? Is that okay?
No picture.
No? Are we going to go to our bed, though, maybe?
Nope.
Maybe?
No.
Maybe? No.
No.
He's just gone over the bookcase.
He's a spicy boy tonight.
No, he's in his exploratory phase. He'll be back. But yes, Valhalla will wait for you. Please take care of your sleep. You know, we all need to drink our water and eat our protein and get our sleep because we have a lot of fascism to fight for the next several years.
Right.
So take good care of yourself. The entertainments will be there for you at your convenience.
The escape pod that I did the host plot for this week goes live in a couple of weeks. It's a really good short story by Erin Cairns. And there is a line in there where the wardroid, who is one of the main characters, asks the person who's repairing her whether he would like her to be a weapon again. And one of the things I put in the outro when I talked about this is just remember, especially right now, shields are weapons.
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing?
This contrary little animal is being super friendly and very nice and completely
Hang on.
No, hold on. Boy, it could be better to be on my task.
What are you doing, child? I'm trying to show you the lad. He's just all...
Oh.
There he...
He's unsure.
Come here, Bubby.
He's doing unsure.
No, you can't see me. Me, Angie. I'm gonna turn around. Shields can be weapons, Ozzy, was the quote. He's just not gonna give us any FaceTime tonight. We're gonna stare at his butt for the entire evening.
You know what we need?
What?
We need another camera.
No!
Get out of this one.
Oh my god! How many cameras? No. Steven Universe? Is that a reference to Steven Universe as well?
Very indirectly, yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Fine. We tried, folks.
So, cat butt is going to occur today.
Maybe he'll turn around at the break. It'll be fine. Anyway, we're going to play some Tavern Talk, and then we have something entertaining for shenanigans because I trust Ducky, and it'll be fine. It'll be all good. Right?
Oh, we saw Nosferatu. It was fun.
Yeah, we saw... That's about the only movie we saw over the holidays. That's not true. We watched, you got Fall Guy for Christmas. And Deadpool and Wolverine. And Twisters. The things I adored over the holidays. So yeah, we watched several movies. But we also saw Nosferatu, which was visually stunning. And very unapologetic, very bleak, very much about... No, this is a movie about appetite, and we're going to talk about appetite.
He's just confirmed his next film as well.
Yeah, it's like werewolf spelled funny or something. Like, okay, I know we're all slaves to search engine optimization, but we've gone back to leet speak bad typos now? Okay. That's one way to trademark a movie.
I didn't take that from it. I took that as kind of super grim 12th century European myth of some form.
No, see, I took it as I have to be able to trademark this, and there have already been a billion movies named Werewolf made.
Also, because I know this writer and director Robert Eggers has done The Witch, or as it is called in some circles, The Witch.
The Witch.
Because it's a VV spelling a W. And The Northman, which is very good, especially if you've read Hamlet, because it's Hamlet. It's the story that happens before Hamlet, basically. And The Lighthouse, which is very pretty, and Nosferatu, which is very pretty. And
KB, exactly so. It was beautiful, but I don't need to see it again for a while.
Exactly.
There were two teenage girls in the cinema behind us.
They booked it 10 minutes in.
They made it about 15 minutes into the movie before they left.
I want this director to stand up on it. I want him to do like 2 more super po-faced, super serious, worthy, artistic movies. And then just to go, so what's your next film, Mr. Eggers? G.I. Joe.
Speed Racer.
You know, I'm doing the Monopoly movie.
I'm doing the Rainbow Bright movie. Something like that. Just something.
Strawberry shortcake with an umlaut over every O and A. Strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I would watch that. Unfortunately, it'd be terrible, but I would absolutely watch it. So yeah, we watched a lot of action adventure stuff. We rewatched season 1 of Arcane, and we've gone on to season 2 of Arcane, and we're episode 4.
No one is making good choices.
Well,
no one.
Season 1 was all about people making very difficult choices with the best information they had in the context that they had for the frame of reference that they had, and it all going sideways and overlapping with each other. And now everybody has realized the consequences of their actions and are doubling down anyway.
Season 2 could comfortably be subtitled The Find Out Phase.
Yeah, the find out phase. Absolutely. Apparently, Nosferatu was featured in an episode of SpongeBob, and I think it gave folks the wrong idea of how that movie goes. Well,
Yeah, that tracks.
that makes sense. But it's still visually beautiful, and the music's amazing. So I'm enjoying the heck out of that. There are 2 words I hear consistently about Arcane Season 2. War crimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's been a couple in episodes so far.
Oh, yeah. We're straight up there with the, you want brutalism? I'll give you brutalism.
It's really cool for me, actually, because we're watching Arcane over dinner every night and every day, because we're letting Disney Plus lapse towards the end of March.
Yeah.
So every day I'm watching one of the shows I wanted to watch before Disney Plus goes away. And at the moment it's Amphibia, which is a very, very good cartoon about 3 teenage girls who are sucked into a frog dimension. And you slowly learn how they got there, whilst also wacky hijinks ensue. And it's been really nice to kind of contrast Amphibia, which starts off really kind of wacky and happy, and then goes, oh, did we mention the arc plot where 2 of the girls will sword fight in the middle of a storm on top of a burning tower?
Fabulous.
Yes. And just contrasting that with Arcane, where I think the last comedy relief moment was Bye Felt falls over shortly before someone else loses a finger. Just it's nice. Animation is a spectrum. It does a lot of different things, you know?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
And yeah, Ozzy, I'm starting to get hints of just where Amphibia is going to go for seasons 2 and 3.
Sword fight on a tower in a lightning storm, huh?
Well, the main character lands.
Does one of them lose a hand and go, no?
Not quite, but one of the 2. There are 3 girls, and you meet 2 in this first season. One of them lands in the Frog Village, which is lovely and homely, and she learns important lessons.
So she's the Hobbit. Okay.
One of them lands in the Toad Castle, where she's basically is a mean girl and successfully becomes the general of the orcs because she's meaner than the rest of them.
Okay.
Yes. The leader of...
I'm getting very Fira, Katya, Aurora energy kind of thing going on.
You are not off being a
Lean on Me plays during the season 1 dramatic fight. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Like she's about to plummet to her death and the frogs rescue her as Lean on Me plays.
Right. And also the Owl House creator has a new show coming out. Yeah, we talked about that on Wednesday night.
Yeah, very excited. Animation's great. I love animation.
Animation's amazing. Yes.
I keep considering whether because I've never seen any Gundam, and I keep considering whether I want to dive into the various bits of Gundam on Netflix. And I made the mistake of asking, what's the correct watch order for the internet? And there were diagrams, and then I passed out at the time.
Okay, maybe not starting there.
I just want to see the big robots punch each other. You know,
I'm not a huge Evangelion fan, but the nice thing about Evangelion is it's pretty condensed and there's a lot of punching.
Get me, Eva Shinji.
And then there's a lot of whining. So you can kind of fast forward the whining bits and then get to the robot punching.
Finally, almost all of Macross is now on Disney Plus, and they haven't mentioned it at all. It's just there. There are 2 things.
So long.
There are 2 things which aren't on that, but there's like 6 movies, 7 3 or 4 episode TV shows, and the entirely random. Yeah, this is 1 season, but the season is 50 episodes long. Show in the middle of it.
If it helps, I have basically only seen Gundam Wing and Gundam 00 and Gundam Seed, which are like not the main Universal Century Gundam canon.
Yes. Yeah. That's the thing I'm starting to contemplate, whether I want to just not bother with the fucking penetrable main plot and just go, oh, this one's got hats.
Here's a thing with a separate name that has 10 episodes that I can complete.
I'm also reliably informed that Witch from Mercury, the show that ran last year, is by far the best one. So and that's mostly on YouTube, so I might just watch that.
Trying to figure out what is it where we were going to watch after Arcane.
We were discussing Rings of Power.
Yeah,
because
so
Amazon Prime is also going away much.
Yeah, we are deplatforming our entertainment very severely. Drop out. $50 a year. Cost entertainment money we pay. So we are getting rid of Disney Plus, and we are getting rid of Amazon Prime in the end of March.
Now, the interesting thing about this is that we're actually adopting a model which Herben taught me. Because the way that basically the way these platforms Just extract as much money from you as possible. As well, something good will be out in 3 months. It's not worth you unsubscribing.
Yes, but here's what we did. We made Marguerite has I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can.
Basically,
I created a Milanote board of this various streaming services and all the things we want to watch on them and when they come out, so we can be like, okay, we got to watch this one and this one by here, and in like April, if we want to turn one of these on for a month, we could watch this and this and this. So we're like planning buddy breathing basically. So like we'll switch on Apple TV for
once Silo's finished,
a month, once
Horses is back, and
Low Horses is back, and For All Mankind is back, and Amazon Prime will come back for a month. The Instant Leverage Redemption's next season comes out. That's what I wanted to do a rewatch of.
Leverage Redemption.
Well, that and probably Starstruck Odyssey.
And Librarians.
The Librarians, that's right, because there's new Librarians and got Jacob Toad in it. Jacob Toad is the second best. Maybe tied for the best because Jenkins is my boy.
Jenkins, quick question.
Yes, I have that t-shirt. Because we were going to do a Librarians rewatch to get ready for the new Librarians. But basically, we've set up this ridiculous system so that we can kind of be like, all right, if we were going to turn on one service for a month, which one would it be and what would we watch? And then what else is coming out and when can we keep track of it?
I would guess in about 2 months, Ducky. There's been a really short teaser. I know the entire season filmed last year because Christian Kane was basically pulling double duty because he's the Jenkins for them. So he was in Bulgaria for 3 months doing that. I think he was also doing Almost Paradise, which is what if Jimmy Buffett was a retired Secret Service agent and hot, and then was also doing Leverage as well.
Hey, I wonder why Marguerite wants to rewatch Librarians.
This is absolutely the time to mention that you are writing a G-Witch TMA crossover.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
You. Oh, yes.
Fantastic. Amazing.
The other thing which I was considering with Disney Plus is Captain America 4 is out in 3 weeks.
Okay.
Thunderbolts is out in May.
Okay.
Mabel. Just do a complete MCU turn Disney Plus on the month before Thunderbolts comes out. I watch all of them. Mabel.
Yeah, you can do that.
Mabel.
Where am I going to get those 65 hours?
2 hours a night. We could do that.
I love you dearly.
Mabel.
Stop trying to make Mabel happen.
I think it already has.
I think. Really? Okay,
Yeah.
fine. Which is to say that we're being better about not letting major corporations have unlimited access to our money data anymore. Or at least we're trying as much as possible.
All the data everywhere forever, but the money we can fight them on a little bit.
When is the new Librarians coming out, though? Do we know?
I just said we don't know.
New
Probably 2 months from now.
Librarians. Hang on.
The Librarians called brilliantly, and of course, the next chapter.
The next chapter. Ooh, there's art. Who are you people? Why are you not Jacob Stone? That's all I care about. That's rude. But, okay, I see a bunch of other characters. Just give me a release date.
I would also point out that the poster for this includes not 1, but 3 characters in various types of Doctor-esque coat, which confirms to me that Dean Devlin continues his lifelong campaign to eventually write Doctor Who.
Right.
I did I ever tell you that? Like 6-7 years ago, I think the last but one MCM I attended before the period where I didn't go to MCM, I got talking to one of the writers.
That is the most Doctor Who coat I've ever seen.
I got talking to one of the writers on the last season of Librarian, and he said, yeah, this was basically my Doctor Who audition reel.
Fabulous. I think Marvel really needs the R. It kind of does.
Mabel does also sound like I'm mispronouncing the name of my second favorite Gravity Falls character, and I wouldn't want to do that to her.
1920s Gang Mall. Yeah, the Lackadaisy hardbacks arrived a couple of days ago as well. Still got those to read. Right, okay, we could talk about
we successfully bullshitted for a full half hour. Let's go back.
Right, exactly. I mean, we could talk about the Librarians forever. Absolutely. But why don't we take our first break and see if I can I'm not going to be able to entice the lad
You're not
around, am I?
We're going to move him. He's just going to fuck off.
Yeah, well, you forgot your headphones anyway, so we got to take a break.
Oh, did I? They're just over there where I can't reach them while on camera. Ha ha.
So we're going to take a completely unrelated break for unrelated reasons that don't have to do with Alistair being able to get his headphones so we can play the game, right? So why don't you guys take a little break as well? Get yourself a beverage. I have one for hydration. I don't have one for energy. I just have one for fun because it's late at night. And we will get the game fired up, and Alistair will, on a completely unrelated note, wander to his desk and come back carrying something. And we will be right back, as I have to remember how to push the buttons that make the things happen. That is a button that makes a thing happen. Right. Get a stretch, get yourself a tasty beverage, and we'll be right back.
Maybe.
We were just being ridiculous. Don't mind us.
So out of character.
I know, it's so terribly out of character.
So this is Tavern Talk. It's been a while. Let's explain what we're doing. This is Coffee Talk, basically, but it's fantasy roleplay coffee talk, where we run a tavern in a pretty idyllic region, actually. There are a couple of gates nearby guarded by colossal beasts, which may or may not be evil. And people come in and we make them drinks, and those drinks help boost their stats. And if we give them the right drink, then situations, adventures they go off on resolve well. And if we don't, they don't resolve
I'm just trying to remember where we are and what we're doing. This one here.
Some of our clients include someone who is very clearly a sad goth boy.
See, there he is. Well, I'm assuming there they are for the very first time.
Bruce the Barbarian here.
Bruce the Barbarian. I hope you're ready for the. I can't remember any of these voices. This is gonna be awesome.
The Paladin was very kind of regal. Possibly old. Oh yeah, it's possible we used to be evil. The hook-handed fish lady, and the hook is a crochet hook.
Let's be it clear. Yes.
I think was quite so. What you're saying is you're evil, your legs.
Yeah. Okay. Very well. All right. So you get to be Bruce the Barbarian here. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
All right. Hang on a second. I gotta move my water out. No. All right.
With apologies to the entire Australian nation. G'day.
I have returned, innkeeper. Welcome back, Miss Anwar, and welcome. This brave's adventurer's name is Claymore. Oh my god. Of course. He offered unexpected support during my quest. Claymore. Oh bless him. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you so much on behalf of the world. Yes, of course. The world, Mr. Clay.
You don't need to do the whole Mr. thing. Clay's all right with me. Otherwise, it sounds so formal. Like talking to one of those graph people.
Oh, you wouldn't want to be one of those. Clay it is then. Can I offer you both a drink in exchange for the story of how you two met?
Oh, that'd be a fun trade. Right, Tia?
I think I would welcome it as well.
Yeah.
Then what can I get you? Clay, please go ahead.
Oh my. You got a lot of stuff on the menu.
Stop rattling! Look at his big giant eyes.
How about one of those drinks with ingredients?
You look strong, so how about something extra for those muscles?
That sounds nice. Let's go with it.
One coming up. Claymore.
Claymore.
Of course. Hello, Andu. How are you? There we go. All right, we need something. I gotta remember. Much with the strength. Okay. Strong. Big mix strong. Sailor's courage, and I don't think he needs anything that complex. I think a good old-fashioned Southern brawler is gonna be just fine. So we need 3 of these. Claymore the Golem Barbarian. He doesn't really look like a golem to me, but he could be. 1 Southern Brawler coming up. Try this. I think it'll knock your socks off.
It tastes strong and magic-y. My socks are still on. Still, I love it. I'll have to remember this one for next time. What is it called?
Don't worry. I'll remember it for you.
Oh, thank you.
Now, Miss Anwar, what would you like? I need some of that liquid vigilance. Even in here, it's important to stay on guard. You'd think an inn would be the... Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Wouldn't this be the right time to relax?
There is never such a time.
All right, then I shall aid you in your divine mission of not falling asleep standing up.
Okay. So, extra defense, it looks like.
And whose job is bucket?
For snow... 1,000 wins. Let me check my options. I think a Frosted Lagoon sounds about right. It's not asking me to make anything terribly complex here. I have to show the chat. Hang on a second, chat. Behold. You see that tail?
Mayhem tail.
Mayhem tail is what? Oh, yeah. Yep. We got Mayhem tail incoming.
Leggy.
Yes. There's a Frosted Lagoon.
Some liquid vigilance, diluted with some delicious secret ingredients. Enjoy.
I could do with something less diluted, but you're right, it is delicious. Happy
to hear that. Do we get to tell the story now?
Please, go ahead.
Oh, you think I should start with the seashells?
No, I think some exposition is in order first. As you already know, Innkeeper, I plan to start my investigation right here in Zenith, specifically at the local Gaia temple.
So I've been told. Mostly about that wobbly news.
Yes, that was certainly something. Besides their fascinating personal secret, they had nothing of value to share with me. But fortunately, thanks to your rumors, I was not entirely without a lead. The wizard's prophecy led me to Dulwell, or should I say the Abandoned Isle, or Fairweather. The name changes depending on who you ask.
I didn't know it had that many names. I always just called it Kilpie Island.
Why?
Because it's shaped like a Kilpie.
That's a smart approach. Kilpie Island or Fairweather, its name means very little to me. Its local settlement of Fae was much more relevant. They built everything into the giant sequoia that holds the portal to Avalon.
The portal is in the tree.
Yes, right in its center. They call it the Horizon Tree. It's very beautiful. The Fae themselves were moderately helpful. It was difficult to get them to focus on the severity of the situation. And I was pretty sure they were preparing some sort of morbid ritual with the acorns that they were stringing up between rose bushes in asymmetrical shapes.
Oh, I always thought those were art projects. Common misconception. Sounds more like they were preparing to charge them with astral moonlight.
For what?
Well, if you freeze them, they make very good ice cubes.
Do you participate in such practices?
Well, not right now.
I'm not going to question that. Eventually, I got them to sit still long enough to ask them about any strange occurrences around their settlement.
Did they understand your definition of strange?
It took some explanation. Have a good one, Ozzy. Good night.
See you, Ozzy.
They told me about how just recently an astral humpback whale had rampaged through one of their nearby scouting camps. Just 2 days before the stars fell. They said it seemed like it was running from something and it was full of seething fury. They also claimed it to be a good sign because it promised adventure. Alex seems like an interesting. Significantly.
I mean, it did end up in some kind of adventure.
Investigating disaster is not an adventure. It is a necessity of dire circumstances.
I have fun. That makes two of us.
It certainly was a sign of something being awry, and I was determined to get to the bottom of it. So naturally, I made my way to nearby Carapace Beach. Oh, sorry, everybody. And prepared a celestial summoning ritual under the young astral moon.
For the humpback whale, I suppose.
What else would I be summoning?
I thought maybe you wanted to ask Cassiopeia for her input.
Are you out of your mind? The Realm Keepers have sworn a divine oath of neutrality. It prevents them from directly interfering with the simple worlds of us mortals. The full might of their powers could disrupt the delicate balance of their cosmic design.
Right. Sorry. Slipped my mind.
You are forgiven. As I was preparing the ritual, readying myself to confront the troublemaker, I suddenly found myself being interrupted by a strange request.
That was me. I asked her if she needed any more seashells.
Did she? I did, actually. Pairing dragon head tritons and flimmering limpet shells can heighten the dual aspects of the celestial twins, therefore making the connection to the astral sea more stable.
Obviously.
I had managed to find a limpet shell, and one happened to be among his offerings.
I honestly just thought she was decorating the beach and that she could do with more colour. Well, you weren't wrong, in a way. Sadly, the shells burned up during the ritual. Singed Tia's hands, too.
Just a little. Fortunately, I possess spectacular healing capabilities.
Fortunate indeed. Were you collecting seashells for beach decorating or your very own ritual play? Oh, I was collecting them for my friends. At this time of year, Kelpie Island is full of all kinds of sparkling, floating animals from the astral sea. I love munching on seashells.
God, he's such a himbo. Do you encounter these creatures a lot?
I try to. They're really nice.
Clay can talk to animals. Gaia's blessings rest upon him. I like you're full of surprises. You're full of surprises.
Oh, thank you. Though I'm not always sure they like talking to me. They tend to disappear sooner or later. Sometimes they come back, but often they don't.
No.
I think maybe I accidentally say things that upset them without realizing it, and they think I mean to hurt them. I hate when that happens.
You mean they just disappeared like they were never there?
Yeah, like they moved to a different, quieter beach.
Or like they returned to the astral sea?
I feel like they would tell me if they went back home.
Not necessarily. Many Astrian creatures can traverse the planes at will, but they don't always have control over when it is that they have to return. On many occasions, the astral currents pull them back home before they're ready. And once you're swept up in them, each subsequent journey out becomes more and more difficult, or so I've been told. I would guess your friends either went home when you weren't there, or got pulled back before they had a chance to say goodbye.
So you're saying the sea swallowed them?
Not quite. It just beckoned them home through a sort of celestial hug.
So that means I could just visit them in the astral sea?
That would be an incredible undertaking. Traveling between planes is quite hazardous.
It is, but echoes are from the primordial sea, and my family has lived here for quite a while, I think. I must have gotten here somehow.
They say it was much simpler to traverse between planes once. But for a long time it has been almost impossible without complicated and dangerous rituals. Until recently, the astral sea was the only possible way for it to pass through the barriers. And accessing it requires meticulous planning, not to mention the sea tends to come with more risks than rewards. Even your Astrian friends who can choose to leave their home plane on a whim get pulled back by the currents eventually. Imagine what would happen to you if you went in unprepared.
But the Fae on Kilpie Island aren't from Gaia either. And they told me they haven't lived here for very long.
Since the 5 interplanar portals opened up, interplanar travel has become a lot more accessible again, at least when it comes to the dream planes. But even the astral and primordial seas, not to mention Ur, are finally open to us again after all these years. It is a true miracle to witness in our lifetimes.
So the portals haven't always been there. I didn't know that. Who put them there?
Well, that is a very good question.
And one that would blow the scope of this conversation beyond its bounds, I would think. Otherwise translated as me. You still have to tell me how you summoned that whale.
You're right, we're getting off track. As Clay and I talked, he told me about his fascinating friendships with the astral creatures, and his ability to speak with animals as if they share a language.
So you asked him for help?
Well, he offered his aid. I certainly could have handled it on my own, but...
But you didn't have to.
Right, that. Obviously. Thank you very much, Clay.
Anytime.
So I summoned it. The ritual worked exceptionally well, and it appeared out of the sky in a wave of concerning darkness. Stars used to accompany them.
I mean, there was one star.
There was. The whale was even bigger than I had anticipated, almost as tall as the horizon tree. And in its stomach rested a giant sun, the only star of the night sky whose light had not been extinguished, nestled right in its belly.
That sounds beautiful.
It was, in a way. The star wasn't the thing to worry about, though. The whale didn't look at all happy about being summoned. Instead, it looked like a wounded animal that was one loud noise away from lashing out. And it looked sick. Its translucent skin was gray, like it was frozen with the coldness of the highest mountains or the deepest depths. Oh my gosh, lady, you monologue. Its eyes were pale, almost blind, with no warmth to them. I thought for a brief second we must fight this beast before it consumes us and everything in its path. But when I looked over at Clay, I saw a deep understanding in his eye. Like he wasn't seeing a monster, but a friend. So I stayed quiet, knowing that whatever he knew outweighed my fear.
You knew what it needed, Clay. Well, not completely, but I knew that look in its eyes. That feeling when you're so scared you get angry. When you want to fight because you're terrified you won't be able to flee. So I knelt to show it that I didn't mean any harm, and I held out my lost conch shell in my hands. It took a moment to overcome the instinct of mistrust, but then it picked the shell up gently and ate it.
It's because whales eat shells now.
I saw the conch freeze as it was swallowed. It looked painful. Wanting to comfort the whale, I reached out and I carefully put my hands against its cheek. I wanted it to know it wasn't alone.
I'm sure it needed that.
It did. It was so sad it cried tears of golden dust.
Its tears turned to ice before they even hit the ground. It was at that moment I realized its body had been cursed with a potent frostbite. I knew it did not trust me yet, so I did what I previously would not have thought possible. Through a hand on Clay's shoulder and the magic of your drink, I was able to briefly transfer my magic to Clay, allowing him to cure it of its disease. He kissed it on the forehead, and the ice burned away, freezing it with the endless chill. It was quite sweet.
That's one lucky whale. And one unusual effect of that infusion.
Is that not usually possible?
Inspiration is a fickle thing. Such magic is deeply personal and it differs from person to person. I always enjoyed seeing how others imagined support to look like. Tia's support was really helpful.
I'd hope so.
Once it was free of its pain, the whale was ready to talk to us. I asked what had happened, and it told me about fighting some sort of evil creature on 2 legs.
A creature on 2 legs, so humanoid then. We assume. It turns out whales don't care much about our appearances.
It cared more about all the things being thrown at it. What a mean way to approach a whale. Apparently it swallowed some kind of stone. It can only remember its black and white colour and that it tasted horrible. But it thought, I have a strong digestive thing, it's nothing to worry about. Rookie mistake.
Mm.
The 2-legged monster just wouldn't stop attacking, so it fled as quickly as it could, trying to find its way home. It felt really bad about destroying the camp. I get why. The worst part about being angry is seeing the wreckage you leave behind. Tia, do you ever get angry?
No. I am the embodiment of calmness and self-discipline. I'm very tempted to say where I come from. They call that repression, but we'll just say you forgot divinity.
Yeah, you forgot divinity.
You forgot divinity. Thank you.
Luckily, its anger subsided when it found its way back.